everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Boss Moves and Public Relations. I'm Samantha McCoy, CEO of Mission Key Communications, where we equip entrepreneurs and leaders to increase their visibility.
Hi, greetings. My name is Brooke Waller, the CEO of Brooke Bold Media, where I help my clients increase their reach, results, and revenue.
And I am Stephanie Caudle, and I am the CEO of Black Girl Group, and we are a freelance staffing agency that connects African American women freelance creatives to companies seeking to outsource more diverse talent.
And Stephanie is also a PR expert as well, so that is why she is on the show today. You may have seen her on TV because she's been killing it in the media game. So we are just going to we're going to open it up and just talk about some wins that we have to share, because we have all been working very diligently and very hard. So just wanted to start off with some things to celebrate. So one thing that I am excited about is I have actually partnered with expert journalist Brittany Oliver to do a public relations training. So I'm going to be doing a training all about what public relations is and how people can get media coverage on their own, even without a publicist. Brooke, what wins do you have to share this week?
Yes, I am so excited. I launched my business back in July, and it has just been booming. My client is Dr. Carr, known as the problem solver, and she's a psychologist. And she was able to get two media interviews, which I'm really excited and proud. One was on Fox Soul TV, and the other one was with Fox 5 Good Morning DC. So really happy about those two wins for my client.
Okay. So this month already, all of my clients have been placed in the media, which is super exciting for me because typically it's like hit or miss. Like one client may have a really good month and then another one doesn't. But this month rather, all my clients have been placed. So I'm super excited about that. I was on NPR, just shedding a little bit about the impact the pandemic has had on freelancing. So that has been really great for my business. And then I guess by the time this airs, I will have been on V103, which is the number one R&B and hip hop station in Atlanta. I will be on there this upcoming week, on Tuesday, actually, during the midday drive, talking about all things PR and entertainment. So I'm really excited.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. Well, definitely make sure you keep us posted on that so we can tune in as well.
I will.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. So what are we talking about today? We're just going to talk about just some things in the news and topics that we have really been interested in. So have you all seen did you see the segment this week that Good Morning America did on natural hair? Did you all catch that?
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was getting my hair done.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, actually, it's really funny because, I mean, hair is definitely something, it's always a thing for me. Like, it's always a topic. It's something I have to think about all the time. Like, even we're recording this today, and I have two other recording, I can't even think of the word, two other recording opportunities that I'm doing this week. And so I'm just like, I could potentially have different hair or different looks on all of this. And so it's definitely been different. And now with my corporate job, I used to be able to hide behind my camera without having to show up on camera. But now that I'm in a new role, we are pretty much required to be on camera most of the time. And so now, I've been thinking a lot about, changing my looks up and what people are going to think, especially our non-melanated friends that may not have seen me in all of these different looks. So I've had a little bit of, I don't know if I want to say anxiety, but I mean, I've definitely just been thinking a lot about it. And I just feel like every decision, like every place that I show up on video, I'm always just like, how's my hair going to look? Am I going to feel ready? Am I going to be okay being on camera or not? Because some things you can't control all the time. So what has that been like for you ladies?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Like right now my hair is in braids. I do have relaxer, and I've really been contemplating if I'm gonna go natural or if I'm gonna keep getting a relaxer. And I totally agree with you. It's something that I think about, especially now that we're still in this pandemic. You know, I'm in a corporate role where I'm on camera, and just you always want to look your best while you're on camera. So it's definitely something I'm always thinking about, and scheduling my appointments and just
Yes, no, that is so real. And actually, just in case you all have not seen it, those of you who are watching, it was basically talking about how the pandemic has has caused a lot of Black women and women of color who have curls, natural curls, to embrace those curls and embrace those styles, because a lot of us were not able to get to our stylists. So those of us who do not do hair on our own, like me, have had to be very innovative and creative, and just find out some very new ways of styling and showing up on camera. And just the way that that's received, even in 2020, is very different depending on the culture of your organization, depending on who you're working with and what you're doing, what profession you have. There's just so many factors where still, even today, you can still get comments and questions and all types of different responses based on hair. So Steph, how about you? We know you are emancipated from your corporate life. So
Yes, I am. Yes.
So how does this factor for you? Is it even a factor, or how have you been feeling about your hair since the pandemic? It looks awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's interesting because I'm natural, but I don't wear my natural curls often. I do sometimes, but not all the time. I straighten my hair a lot. However, what I will say is that even though like I don't work for a traditional 9 to 5, I still find myself in that same predicament as you guys, where you're just like, okay, is this too much? Or, is this okay? What are they going to say? And I read this article because every time like I start feeling a certain type of way, I look it up to see if it's normal to feel that way. And I read this article, and it was talking about microaggressions even during the pandemic. And one thing it mentioned was that even as Black women, of course, it's like whenever we're coming on, we have to be mindful of our hair. We have to be mindful of what we're wearing. Like we can't do what some other people may do, whereas, dressed up top but nothing on the bottom, because for whatever reason, they might ask you to stand up and turn around, and we just can't do that. And so it was really interesting to see that. But one thing they also mentioned was that as Black women, we often have to worry about our hair. And it's not even that someone is saying like you shouldn't wear your hair that way, but if you get on a Zoom call, for instance, and like your hair is a little bit different, they'll say, oh, look at your hair. Well, what exactly does that even mean? Like, does it mean that you don't like it? Is that your way of telling me that it's not professional? What is it? So you're always having to think like, how will you be perceived once you come on camera? I don't think it's fair. But at the same time, I think that lots of us have also gotten to a point where we just don't care anymore, because it's like, I'm at home. If you're not okay with how my hair looks today, then I mean, that's on you. I'm at home. I'm in the comfort of my own space, so you can't really dictate it. But I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but since this pandemic has started, and especially as it seems to be going on longer and longer, lots of companies now are looking at implementing the same dress code they have in the office, also on Zoom as well. So what do you guys think about that?
I actually did not know that. And that's just something that I have personally always been very cognizant of. I am very, I was going to say concerned, but I'm very intentional about the way that I show up on Zoom in my corporate meetings. And I have had directors tell me, oh, we don't really care how you look. But I'm just like, I do. I care how I look, because I really feel like I cannot afford to show up in a baseball cap and jeans and, hair that I just washed and haven't blow dried it yet. Like, I don't have I don't feel that I have the luxury of doing that, because I think, for me to show up in my, natural, completely natural state that's not, you know, put together in some way, to me, I feel like that would be perceived as unprofessional, as opposed to someone who has, you know, just straight hair. It's like, you know, they might be able to get out of the shower and maybe it's a little bit wet, but it's even that way, it's not perceived as unprofessional.
Yeah, that's
Totally. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm always like blazer, you know, dress, and hair some type of way, and makeup, because how you show up, I believe that reflects, and sometimes we don't have the same luxuries as some of our colleagues do, and we have to show up. You know, they call it suited and booted, you know, no matter. My company has sent out statements that you can come more relaxed, but I want to give off, you know, professionalism all the time. And I feel you know, I have to do that, you know, can't show up in a t-shirt, or, you know, our real natural state.
Exactly.
That would be, yeah.
No, that's true.
And the thing too is that the schools have definitely implemented it now. Like I know even with Caitlin's school, they've actually sent a list of things you cannot wear. One of them obviously being your pajamas. So like the kids have to come fully dressed. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I get it, but it feels weird that like someone is telling your child how to dress even at home. But on the flip side of that, I feel like I've already taught Caitlin, even at a young age, like to always be presentable, because when she's on her little Zoom call, like she has on her Sunday dress, literally.
Does she pick it out? Like, does she tell you what she wants to wear?
Yes, and she's very intentional. And so, like, sometimes, like, you know, her teacher like, wow, Caitlin, you're really dressed up. And she's like, thank you. But, like, any day that she knows that she has to be on camera, she's going to have on a dress.
That is awesome. That's hilarious.
Bring them up early.
Right? That is hilarious. But yeah, so a friend of mine, it's so funny, yesterday we were talking, and a friend of mine sent me a screenshot of, it was her and one of her team members. She's an entrepreneur. So it was her and one of her team members, both African-American women, and their client was a white male CEO, and then one of his colleagues. And so it was very interesting, the contrast. Like, the African-American women were basically full makeup, hair done, dress, you know, all of that, ready to go. And the client was like t-shirt, and, well, I don't know what they were wearing underneath, but it was very casual. And even the title in the Zoom call, you know, they had their full name, the company they represented, but the client just had like it was interesting because the man only had his it might have only been his last name. I don't even know if his first name was up there or not. And then the woman had her first and last name. So it was just interesting that there were kind of degrees of formality depending on, you know, who was on the call and who was showing up. So I don't know, like, I don't know if you can read too much into that, but I think that it is interesting how, you know, a lot of the stereotypes and even the stereotypes that we've internalized about, you know, how we don't have the luxury to do that. Like, I think even the fact that we still think that says a lot, because it's just like, man, do we really still not feel that if we were to show up a certain way, that, you know, we would be perceived a certain way? Because I also know some entrepreneurs that are very intentional about not showing up, you know, in an expected way. And so I've heard some people say, hey, I'm showing up in a t-shirt, I'm showing up in my cap, and I'm still going to kill it. And yes, I'm still making 7 figures, but I'm going to show them that I am going to look the way that I want to, and you're not going to dictate, you know, how I am. So I've heard a little bit of both on that.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. To, you know, and also I think when I look at other brands and other companies and publicists, it's really like, how do you represent your brand? You know, some people have like more relaxed brands.
Right.
Some people would say they're like more upscale or more, dressier brands per se, and it's like, how does your brand come off of what and we're all brands, no matter if you have a company or if you don't have a company, you're a walking brand.
That's very true. And I guess that even goes to corporate culture as well, because I know, like, I mean, my company is very corporate. So we're not like, this cool tech, young, whatever, like that's not what our brand is at all. So because of that, I don't think that I don't feel that I can be as relaxed, because the people at the top are not. And so I just don't feel like I can be either. Whereas, maybe if I worked at a Google or Microsoft or something like that, I might feel a little more like, okay, everybody is showing up casual. So maybe I'd feel a little bit different. Yeah.